Okay, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. I'm excited. I've got some really cool friends of mine. I mean, I wish they were my friends, but they're pretty cool people. And they do some amazing content with the High School Esports League under Generation Esports on lots of different platforms. And I've gotten to know quite a few of them for about 2 years for one, and about a year and a half for another, and about a few months for the others. And they're just absolutely killing it when it comes to content. And we're going to jump into it. We're going to break down some intricacies of the world of TikTok and YouTube's and the interwebs and how they are killing it, basically. So I'm going to bring onto the stage here a bunch of amazing people here. And here they come. Welcome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How are you guys? Welcome.
Hey,
Hi.
I just got reminded of Nick when we were in South Bend. You every time you videoed me, I was flossing.
yeah. Or dabbing. We'd be hiding behind a tree, and you would pop out of nowhere and hit a dab.
It was called I call it the DOS. People have called it the flab because it's the floss and the DOS dab together. So I'm going to go with DOS because that's cooler. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go around. Going to start with Connor, then Nick, then Gracie, then Alex. If you guys will introduce yourselves and what your title is, and then we'll jump into some more stories. Go ahead, Connor.
Absolutely. Thanks, Bubba. Oh, my name is Connor Alne. I go by Coach Alni online. I currently serve as the Director of Community and Content here at Generation Esports, overseeing the social growth, community building, and contents that we put out.
Yeah, I'll go. So my name's Nick. I'm 21. I am video producer. I make like YouTube videos. I started out kind of making a documentary like TikTok, both of them. Now I'm just doing strictly like YouTube. But yeah, I love what I do. It's great. Love making content. It's good vibes.
Hi, I'm Gracie. I'm the producer of programming and development here, as well as content manager. I help out a lot with the script work and research that goes into all of our TikTok videos, help out with our eSport reports, and just kind of in general have a community presence for our students, especially in the Discord.
Hello, my name is Alex. I'm a video producer. I make the short form content. So if it's in portrait mode, I believe, yeah, that's typically the kind of videos I'm going to be making. You'll see it mostly on TikTok or YouTube Shorts. But yeah, have a lot of fun.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. Hey, let's jump into this because actually the first question before we go anywhere, Alex, when are we going to get some more Dear Diaries?
Listen, that show got a little bit canned, but season 2's got a couple of delays, and we'll see what goes on.
You need a new diary. You ran out of space, I guess.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's Gracie. I actually want to start with you.
Sure.
Give me some give me some information about why social media is important. Ready? Go. This is a huge test.
Yeah, social media is important because it's the easiest way to access your market, especially when you think about like that kind of perfect age range of anyone between the ages of maybe 12, 13 to 18. They're all on social media. That's their main medium of any kind of information. And with our general audience being high school students and a little bit of middle school and college, like that is like the best way for us to kind of convey any information immediately, whether it's through Discord, TikTok, Instagram. And it's a social platform, so people are engaging, and that at the end of the day is the goal, to engage all of our audience members.
Nice. I like it. Connor, why are not just me as a 39-year-old, why people like me in this age bracket, we spend a lot of time on TikTok for different reasons, but why do 14 through 21-year-olds spend a lot of time on TikTok, and what are they looking for?
Oh, that's a great question.
Mm-hmm. You thought it was easy.
not an easy one, because there's good and bad to it, right? The thing that is so incredible about TikTok is there is a constant cycle of reward for you. You get on the app, and there is an infinite scroll of brand new content that is geared towards exactly what you like, no matter how crazy or different topics, or like no matter what you're into, there's an infinite feed of information for it. So it's addictive because you can sit there and you can just, without putting any work in, get fed a constant cycle of content that you enjoy. So anyone that's trying to kill, we all search for entertainment in our free time. So if you're looking to be entertained, why not pick a platform that's going to do it for you instead of you having to go out and try to find the content?
I like that. Nick, as someone who's good at videography, what gives you the eye? What gives you the eye to find the right shot? And are you constantly is the trick to like constantly be moving?
Yeah.
Or am I just doing that wrong?
No. You can't really be still when you're doing shot. Always have movement in your shots. If you don't have movement, it's kind of boring. I guess with the whole like eye thing, I kind of just look around. It's very hard to explain. I kind of just look around and like see things, and I kind of film it. And if it looks good, I guess it looks good. I don't know. I just see things and I film a lot of it, different point of views and that kind of thing. I don't know.
Okay. Thanks, Alex or Nick. Alex, though, you're fresh out of college, right?
Yeah, I graduated in the spring, I believe, of 2021. Or sorry, 22. No, 2021.
And then Gracie as well, right? Or
Yes.
last year?
We actually both went to KU, yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay, I thought. Did you guys know each other on campus?
No.
I don't know.
Oh,
Different circles. Different circles.
gamers didn't know gamers. Okay, I see. Alex, when it comes to having a following, like an audience, like waiting in anticipation for the next episode, what's your hook? What is a good hook to keep people coming back?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's been a while since we made them, but it's tough because the series wasn't like supposed to go on that long. Like it was meant to just be sort of a, I don't know, like 6-part or something like that series on how to create like an esports team and whatnot. So I never intended it for it to be like that. So we kind of just had to figure it out along the way and just make it up as we went along. Like, yes, next this character and their team are going to be doing this. It was a lot of pretty much just improv and, like I said, making it up as we went along. So truthfully, that's a great question. So I still don't know myself, to be honest.
All right. Well, let's ask some fun stuff first. Tell me your go-to game right now. Ready, go, Nick. Oh, sorry, I did mute you. I'll put you back on. I muted you because you guys are in the same room. You got to unmute yourself. I did it.
No, sorry. So, actually, me and Connor have been kind of grinding Rocket League. We've been playing a lot of ranked. I'm kind of addicted to it. Every time I go home, I'm like, I got to play Rocket League. Got to practice, try to get better. That's probably my go-to. And then fallback's probably COD, but the state that COD's in right now is, I don't know.
You mean the state it's been in?
Yeah, for the past couple games.
Years.
Yeah, years. It's
right.
Hopefully it changes soon with the new.
We keep hoping that.
I hope.
Gracie, do I need to guess, or am I going to be right that your go-to game is something with LOL? Is it different now?
Well, okay, technically, so it's like my go-to competitive game. It's straight League. I've been playing a lot of Genshin though, the gacha game, just because it's a lot more relaxing and there's no one pinging me or harassing me in chat. So for like the time being, I've been playing a lot of Genshin, doing different builds. I did get Baldur's Gate, and I've been considering Elden Ring. So I've been dabbling a little bit more with the single-player games rather than the MOBAs.
I've also been considering Elden Ring, but then realized I have a family and a job and
yes, you
a
can't
dog
dedicate.
and oxygen.
Yes.
Yeah. Alex, go-to game?
I play Smash every day at the office with Ty. I'm training. Before we go back to those tournaments at the weekly, we gotta get prepared.
Nice. All right, Connor. Go-to game right now.
Yeah. Nick kind of took it. Season 6 for Rocket League just started, and I really want to hit champ this season. So that's the grind. Otherwise, I still really enjoy Valorant. I still spend a lot of time watching and consuming Valorant. I just don't play it enough to get good at it, but it's a fun game.
I played in a tournament a couple weeks ago in a Valorant or months ago.
Oh yeah,
and it was the second time I've ever played Valorant, and it was a
Nice.
big deal. And we lost because of me. They should have known better. Should have known better.
That's a very intimidating game to go into a tournament. Never.
Yeah, it was with Intel. It was like all the Intel employees or whatever, and so I got to be on a team.
Nice.
And
Good
Just
networking
'cause, yeah.
opportunity.
An experience.
a lot of trash talk still, but it was great. Yeah. Okay. Now, give me a little history. Give me a little history, Connor, because I know a few people know your story, and then I would like to get a little history from each of you, a little history about how you got to this point, and how you got to this point where you are now.
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, with esports, it's always interesting because there's always a number of different storylines running that feed to where you're at now. So for me, it really started in college. In high school, I was really big into Call of Duty and Halo. MLG was popping up, and in particular, I got into college and they hosted the first ever $1 million Call of Duty tournament. And I watched it in my dorm with some friends, and that was really when this whole idea of esports in my mind clicked about how exciting it was. I went out the next week and started the esports club at my college, and really didn't turn back from there. So the first steps for me was I started traveling the country hosting esports tournaments at colleges. Any college that had a gaming club that was open to it, we'd go and set up some equipment, whether it was Call of Duty, Halo. We got into Overwatch and League and Smash, and really just tried to absorb the community and take in what I could. After I graduated was when college esports really went varsity and started, being taken a little more serious. So I got the opportunity to come out to Ottawa, Kansas to start up a college esports program there. So I led that as their head coach and then director to build a auditorium into a 200-person spectator arena for esports. We recruited a couple different classes that have now gone on to win 2 national champions. And all through that, I was always really interested in creating content. I had an unsuccessful Vine career, an unsuccessful vlogging career. I documented some of the stuff I would do with tournaments, and ultimately never really clicked until TikTok came around. And once I got on that, I almost worked 2 jobs. When I was working as a college coach, I'd spend 40 hours a week running my program, and another 40
more
hours.
Than 2? It was more than 2.
It eventually became into 3 jobs, and then 4. But initially, 40 hours paid, 40 hours unpaid. I'm just making content. Covering what was going on in esports. And that's really where content clicked and got to see success from that, and ultimately opened up a ton of doors, one of which being learning about high school esports and the impact that high school esports was having within the space. I quickly realized that that's going to be the thing that really pushes the needle for the esports industry in America, and basically went on a spree to try to start working in it. And you were the first person I went to, and got the opportunity to join you at the foundation and start working on esports content there. And then came to the High School Esports League, first as a producer, then brand manager, and then commissioner. And now I get to oversee all of our community and social growth.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Gracie?
Yes.
Take me from birth to now. No, kidding. You can start at age 1 if you like.
Started in Florida. Then we moved here. No, basically, so just like Alex, I attended KU. I actually went there for neuroscience and economics, and now I do content. So that's always one of my favorite things to throw out there. But they actually overlap a lot. Understanding how a consumer works, which is like kind of like worked a lot with the psychology of like, what kind of catches people's attention. And that's initially what I was kind of onboarded through the Varsity Esports Foundation, was to look at specifically toxicity and like player behavior. So Connor and I, we would do a podcast series together, which I don't know if that really went anywhere. It was a fun learning experience and way to show Connor like, hey, I can help out with content, which is actually why I started my own personal brand. TikTok, Instagram, I'm known as Gracie Star. It's my gamer tag. And I wanted to prove to Connor that I could build a community. So in the matter of a month, I actually built my TikTok to 30,000 followers. I was trying to get trends that I saw that were going like really well and figured out how to apply them to a niche audience. League of Legends wasn't really a big thing on TikTok yet. So I actually became like one of the founding fathers of League Talk. And I did a pickup line series and like other things that really were more applicable to my audience members. And then also at KU, I was the tech and games coordinator. So I ran little mini tournaments and just game night activities for students around campus. I grew up playing Smash. League I got into in college, and then I just kind of used that to build my brand. And then when Connor got, pulled over to HSEL Generation Esports, he grabbed me with him. And I've been a part of Connor's been a part of my journey like the entire time. I haven't been a part of his the whole time, but he's really been leading me and has been a wonderful mentor and role model. So I've learned a lot from him as well.
Love it. I recall some, you did like every champion was a TikTok, and you did some sort of,
Yes.
I can't remember. What was that? What was that series?
So I did a pickup line series for like, hey, do you main such and such? Because
That's right.
And kind of like what you asked Alex, content burns out. There's 150 plus champions, so I knew I had a large pool to pick from. But once my views went from 400 to like 200K to like 100K, and it started to decline. Once I was averaging 10K, I'm like, okay, I need to switch it up, do something new. And then I just looked around for different trends and again applied it to my niche audience.
Love it. Alex, what about you? Where your history, your story? How'd you get here?
Well, let's see. I did high school theater, and then I quickly realized I hated theater. So then I moved on to the film program at KU, and that was kind of where I figured out, like editing is something I enjoy. And specifically, I decided to like employ my skills, or at least like how I learned to edit by joining the KU Smash Club, like the esports club dedicated to just local Super Smash Brothers players. So they would, for the tournaments and everything, I would make like promotional content, like, just ads, commercial, whatever you would call it. And I think my crowning accomplishment of that was we hosted like the biggest like Smash tournament in Kansas. It was called Sweet Spot 5, I believe. And that we had a really good turnout for that. And I'd say that's probably like my first venture into esports in general. And then my friend actually saw a TikTok from Connor, and and that's how I ended up getting this job, as I applied and sent him a silly little video, and it just kind of went from there.
Well, what was that video about?
What was that video? It
Or
was
have
about.
I seen it?
No, it was application process.
Yeah,
so when he applied, our follow-up interviews were you have to make a TikTok for why you want this job, because at the time we were really trying to get a TikTok editor. It's a part of the application process. Their test was to make a video for why they want a job, and Alex's was hilarious.
Which didn't you show me, Connor, like the guy who got a job with 100 Thieves or somebody by doing a video, or there was a guy who got asked to by Nate Shot or something to come work for him.
Yeah, it's actually become a pretty big trend now. There were a couple stories like that, and now it's really become, if you want to get into the realm of social media and professional esports, all of the internship programs, all of the initial steps in is really proving your content online. You see it with the recruitment challenges, like with FaZe do these massive recruitment challenges, but then you see with 100 Thieves, they did a entire campaign for their interns, and there's an internship process. They hired 5, they made a video for them, and now those interns help run their social media. One of all of their really big staff members that are now working on their social team all started as interns through content submission for the most part. I don't know, that's not 100%, but that's the direction that it's all really headed, which is really interesting.
Yeah, it makes total sense. So while Nick's answering, you guys think of some crazy stories from your content series or lives in the past year and a half. But Nick, your history, your story.
Okay, so everything it first started in a small town in Kentucky, probably with like 5,000 people. It's very, very small. Everything started with me with a GoPro, and it was probably when I was around 10 years old. I would go to like the beach with my grandparents, and I would film montages and like basketball montages, Call of Duty montages. That's how I got into like esports, which was Call of Duty, like Optic, and that like kind of era, which was like, I don't know, I would watch them a lot. And then as I grew older, I started doing freelance videos at home, which would be like weddings. I would do ads for small businesses, which helped me build a portfolio, which I would post a bunch of stuff on Instagram. And then like a year, maybe, I think it's been a year, almost a year now, Connor posted a TikTok about how he needed a videographer to go on the road in an RV for 3 months to go to, I don't know how many states we went to, like 35 maybe or something like that. I don't remember. But we built esports labs for them. And I applied by showing him my Instagram portfolio thing. And I got the job. I had to fly out to Kansas. Didn't really, not Kansas, Missouri, Kansas City, whatever. Still getting around to that. But I had to fly out here, not really knowing anyone, which was very scary for me. It was really scary. I didn't go to college for videography, cinematography. I would always watch YouTube videos, and I would kind of teach myself on how to edit and film, which YouTube is a great platform for learning that kind of stuff. And I got the job, and we went on the road for 3 months. Connor offered me a job at the very end of that. And I moved last July, around July, I think, and it's been amazing so far. I love what I do. I'm grateful for Connor and everything he's done for me. So it's been amazing.
It's important to note that's not how that was supposed to happen. So what was supposed to happen was we had this campaign we needed to do for 3 months. I needed to find a videographer. He applied. I called him the next day to see if he seemed cool. He flew him out the next week, and he was supposed to do a tour and go home. And I think it was 3 weeks in, I had called back to headquarters and said, we need to offer this dude a job. And I think it was probably about halfway through when we actually started. I started planting the idea in his head of like, you could move to Kansas City, tried to warm up to it. And then the last month it was like, hey, we got this offer on the table if you want to join.
It was very scary for me.
We not only did he do such a great job, but it was such a proof of concept that it actually opened up a brand new job here, just showing that this is something we need. Mm-hmm. And that was really the foundation for this this whole team. Gracie was already here and holding down the fort while I was gone, but that's really a big opportunity for what opened the door for us to actually have our own full content team to to grow.
Yeah, it's been fun watching you guys grow from the sidelines and seeing what you've done. While you've had time to think about it, is there any crazy stories or wild things? I mean, I've obviously, if you follow through the barrage of TikToks over last summer, you can see the truck breaking down and police pulling over twice, maybe. And so, Nick, I think you have one.
Yeah. Connor, Nemo would drive a lot, which is Nehemiah. He was the third guy on the trip. He would almost hit everything. It was kind of like Nemo hit something else. Oh, let's keep going. It was very funny. I really enjoyed that kind of part.
I don't know if we've ever fully told the story that we were leaving, headed towards Washington, D.C. Nemo's driving through town. He's whipping like 30 miles an hour in this 32-foot RV, right angle, smacks the back tire on the curb. We go, oh, and we're all like, what just happened? He doesn't even flinch. He's just driving. Did we hit something? And then we go on the interstate going 70 miles an hour, and someone's honking at us, and they're like, oh, look. We had a hole in our tire, this big. But they're dualies, so it was still driving. But there was a hole in our. He blew the whole thing out, and then so we get out. We're on the side of the road. I'm making contact. I go in the woods and make a fort, pretending we're gonna spend the night. And Nemo's standing there, and he's like, he grabs Nick. Hey, you don't think this is because of that curb, do you?
100%. What else would it be?
What else would it have been?
Ooh, we also took out a Taco Bell clearance sign.
Yeah. Forgot about that one. And then all said and done, we turn in the RV at the end of this 3 months. I have to do the inspection with the guy that's turning it in. He's on his notebook. He turns it in. He comes back and goes, man, I don't know if you hold a PhD in driving or what, but that's the cleanest RV I've ever seen.
Really?
I go,
the air
just start
conditioner, whatever
laughing.
it was.
Did you look close enough, sir?
Yeah, he didn't pay attention. At
Yeah,
all.
they didn't look at the top of the RV because the air conditioner thing was like shattered.
It was
Do
so
you
bad.
hear-
I hung LED strips, and then when I
Mhm.
tore them off, it peeled off the vinyl of the cabinet.
Do you hear that, Joe's RV barn? You hear that in Missouri? This is what happened. Check that RV
I
right
apologize. Hey, we did what we had to.
now. Alex, Gracie, any crazy stories you can think of with the content you guys have done over the last year?
Yeah. Alex, do you want to talk about the getting locked out bit, or
Oh, that was just yeah.
do you have a different? Do you have a different?
That's got to be the. I mean, that's probably the craziest one because Connor had left for the week on his little sabbatical, and he was like, "All right, guys, I'm leaving this up to you. Good luck. I trust in you. I believe in all of you." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then, like, not even a day later, I'm like, "All right, let's go film in the studio area of the office." I tried to turn the knob, and I'm like, "Gracie, Gracie, it's not opening." Gracie, it's not opening. We get the whole office involved in this. Everyone's trying to like pick the lock and break into the door with a crowbar, with whatever we had. We couldn't break down the door. We couldn't do anything. So we had to just improvise. It was a real bonding moment for the content team right there, where we all just banded together. We
Mhm.
rolled up to Gracie's house and decided to shoot that week's behind the scenes and just try to make whatever content we could without the supplies that we had. So we used whatever phone cameras and anything else that we had that wasn't in the room. It was a real a trying week that Connor was gone, but we overcame, and that's the moral of the story there.
All of the equipment, everything locked out. We didn't even know that door locked. This is the first break I've taken since putting this team together. They don't tell me. I find out when they post the video on Friday, and I go, "You guys did what?"
We thought the reveal would be better that way, you know.
Who locked the door?
We have no idea.
They're still at large. We don't know.
No one's fessing up to it.
We don't know how it got locked.
Was it I?
Mm-hmm. Gracie, any crazy stories? I can think of one, but I want to see if it's the same one you're thinking of.
If you watch any of the TikTok lives, it might be from that. There was a lot. There was just a lot that happened. There was a 2-month period where we were doing a lot of TikTok lives to promote like registration for our fall major, and somehow this whole thing with like milk becomes like this thing that I do to like get people to promote the video. It's like, oh, I'll take a sip of milk for every like, subscribe, whatever. And we decided to up the ante, and we're like, we're gonna do a hot food challenge. That'll be great. Let's do a hot food challenge. And so the way the hot food challenge worked is like we had our viewers basically answer questions. If they got it right, they got a raffle ticket, and that raffle ticket went towards picking a member from the live stream. I got chosen twice, unfortunately, and I had already. So at this point, at the end of the live stream, I had already eaten like a thing of corn with chalupa sauce, and I had drank a half gallon of chocolate milk. And Brennan, one of my helpers, like he's on the product team, and he was like volunteering his time a lot for the live streams. He had this really hot spicy sauce that you have to sign a waiver to even buy. And everyone in chat was like, "Gracie, do it! Gracie, do it! Gracie, do it!" So I was like, "Okay, yeah, for the content." So I put this spicy sauce on a piece of sushi, which again, fish and spicy sauce, that was a bad idea. I don't know what I was thinking. On top of the gallon of milk, basically. And I inhale this piece of sushi really fast to try to like get past the spicy. I don't know how I didn't throw up on camera, and I honestly kind of regret just not, taking the L and doing it on the live stream. I started to gag, and I ran straight to the bathroom, and everyone on that side of the office saw me running. So, instead of giving me my space, everyone decides to sit and wait outside the bathroom for me to come out. At this point, TMI, but I have vomited through my nose, and rice and milk and corn has come out of my nose, and I'm just in tears. Any makeup I had completely just done for. And I, come out of the bathroom to an entourage of, "Gracie, are you okay? What's going, are you?" And I'm just like, in tears post the, experience. And yeah, everyone in the Discord was like, "Oh, I hope you're okay." So it was a great experience for them, but it took the L there for the content.
Didn't a lot of people in your Discord start naming themselves or putting their icons as milk during that time?
Yes. We also had, we had a little brief period of time because we have our milk squad in the Discord, and everyone changed their profile pictures to a picture of them drinking milk, which is awesome. We have a little constitution now. It's great. Milk squad is thriving.
Milk squad. I was thinking of another TikTok too. You and Tyler got banned. Or shut down for like
because of Alex. It was Alex and Ty. They got us banned because
Don't
they
put that
were
on
doing.
me. Listen, man, I was trying to sensationalize titles. I was doing things for the content team. Don't you yell at me for that. What happened there was we were doing our Super Smash Brothers CPU matches, right? It's where we have the computers fight each other, right? But lo and behold, turns out you can't call it Super Smash Brothers dog fighting. Apparently, over there at TikTok, they got an issue with calling it dog fighting, and so.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt like Connor in that situation because that was the first time I was like, hey, you two, you guys got this great idea. I'm going to trust you to just run it. And then the next day we were banned from going live.
In my defense, it went tremendously, by the way. We had very good numbers for that stream. Unfortunately, we did get banned, but the point still stands. It did very, very well.
Some lessons to learn from there.
Mm-hmm. Well, as we are halfway through here, I wanted to ask some tough questions that would pertain to what you've learned. I guess we have a couple stories there about what you've learned, but maybe some hardest moments or the hardest pieces of content you've made, or the things that were just a struggle to get done, or scary or dangerous content. I mean, besides going in the woods and making a fire or whatever, I guess you almost said Logan Paul'd it, but anyways, keep going. Yeah, I won't strike that from the record. So yeah, any hard pieces of content that you've had to make? Anything that was tough, struggle, crazy?
That's a good question. I think maybe there's a better answer or example that the other team can think of, but I think just in general, the hardest thing about and or biggest learning experience for the team is like you have to go through a period. You have to create a lot of stuff before you can get to the point where you can really where you really start seeing results. Like it's a very difficult thing to grow an audience online. And you see it with this team perfectly, because literally none of us really have we didn't really have prior experience in the form of traditional training for all of this stuff. But what we did do was have a really talented team with an eye for it. And we made a ton of stuff, and it took us a long time of making stuff to get to the point where we could really start hyper focusing. Okay, now that we have this product that's, an 80% video, how can we take that and take it to 100%? And so what I'm really proud of this team and what we learned over the past few months is, once we got to that initial point, we really started hyper focusing on our videos and our content and the community that we're trying to build. And in like 2 months, I would say we went from a team who was like doing their job to one of the best short form content teams in all of esports. Like I truly believe that. Like when you look at the short form that anyone else, any league, any pro team, anyone's doing, and the stuff that we're doing as far as not just making content, but building a community around that content, I'm blown away. And it's all because of the effort we put into just making a lot of stuff. Like you just got to make and try till you can get to a point where you can really dissect what you're doing, learn from it, and grow. So I can't think of one video that was just very difficult to make, but I can think of about 10,000 videos that didn't work for us to get to the point where our videos do work.
Is that a mantra? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry. I just wanted to add on to that. No, yeah, he's absolutely right. Like I think just this whole process of finding content that is like hitting its niche or like intended audience has been the most it's been the biggest struggle, because we had to throw so many things at the wall and to see if they stick, but ultimately it felt a lot like job training. You know what I mean? Like the one-offs that we used to do helped us get to the point where we could recognize, okay, this is what our audience wants to see, and how can we continue to grow this success? And it's just a lot of trial and error. So he's exactly what he said. It was just a lot of work and trying to figure out what worked.
Love it.
I think
Gracie?
for me, since I don't necessarily make videos anymore, the hardest part was trying to really use metrics and determine when our users are active. And we think about it, we work a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, but it's social media. Social media doesn't decide, oh, all right, we're gonna, hang up the phone for the day at 5 p.m. So a lot of times I'll like get stressed, and like the hardest thing that I have to like overcome too is like understanding like, okay, I have to answer these comments like throughout the day. I have to check on the weekends. So it's like, it really does become a full-time kind of life experience. Like, I really think it's a way of life. I mean, it helps too. I'm already, probably going to be on TikTok or Instagram, just checking the feed, and I can pop over onto the accounts. But a lot of people don't recognize that, like, what you're going to get out of your community is what you're putting into it. And that was something that we didn't do a whole lot of before, which was engaging with the comments, responding to them. Now, whenever a video goes up, we make sure the Discord can see it. I make sure to like be responding to comments. I see Connor all the time on his account responding to comments. We really want to just create dialogue with the community and encourage them to engage on the posts. So then I can, take a couple hours on the weekend to not look at it, because I know they're going to be talking amongst themselves. But yeah, so figuring out the timing.
To lead us into a question you didn't ask, one of the crazy parts is the exact same team, the exact same amount of videos we're putting out from 1 month to the next month, of going from just putting out videos that are trendy or that we think is going to be good to hyper focusing on our community, figuring out what they want to watch, and putting in a process to make sure we're building the best stories around that. And 1 month on our TikTok channel, we went from averaging right around 5,000-6,000 views a video, and growing less than, I think it was around like 100 a week, to the next month averaging over 50,000 views a video, and we're getting over 500 followers a day right now. Exact same team, exact same amount of videos, but hyper focusing on the community you're trying to build and what stories they want to hear. And you can't get that until you get to the point where you've done it enough.
That is true.
So if you're just tuning in, we're here with the top esports content team in the world, with short form content for sure. And I absolutely have been loving the breakdown of schools and matches and standings each day or week, or I think it's every week you do it, and short form content everywhere. The editing, this sounds like, I think is this something you're all doing right now, editing, or many of you?
Well, Connor is right now. He's trying to figure out. He's cooking up a new video format, so he's doing it right now. But mostly, I think it's just me and Nick, I believe, doing the video editing aspect.
We've changed. That's one process we did actually change. Was we originally just had them as video producers doing stuff, but now they've actually been assigned projects that they are just always in charge of. So instead of Alex making one TikTok and Nick making the other, now Alex just has the reports that he always makes all of the reports, but he's got that down to a science, and we do reviews and he knows how to make that. Nick has to do the esports reports, and we work on that every week and review it. And so we've been more dedicated to the exact projects they're working on, so that we can improve week over week.
Love it. Okay. As we wrap up here, we've had some fun topics, some fun discussion. Where do you see this team going? I mean, obviously you're at the top right now, so I guess you'd have to keep making more layers of awesome. Where do you see this content team and what you guys do? And I'll ask a separate question after this, is where do you see esports content going? So your content first, and then we'll talk about that. And then we'll talk about where do you see esports content going? Who wants to talk about the content of your team?
I mean, I think I speak for all of us, is like, I still think we're at the very beginning. Like, we just found our real rhythm. And so it's the next year that's really exciting. It's the next week over week of seeing how to improve and how to grow. Like, I think in general, we found a really good way to engage with this community, but we're so early. We're still trying to find ways to gather more info from the community, to gather in clips, to highlight more people. And what we've also found is the more we give back to them, the more excited they are and the better our content does. And so how we can continue evolving that is one piece. The big piece is, I think Nick would agree, is we're done with roadshow content now. So we're really excited about doing original long form content. We've not really done that for a while. We're still editing footage that was filmed a year ago. So we're finally at a point this year where we can start doing original pieces that are long but tell the stories that we want to tell. And I think that's what I'm most excited about.
I'm very excited to do that, to create stories and just work in that creative flow, which I'm just extremely excited for, especially with traveling and going to certain places. Make some dope content.
Yeah, I think in terms of esports, I think we're just like at the forefront. Like this is the tip of the iceberg. Like we are at the very beginning of getting a bunch of new kids into the esports scene. They're like in the comments, we're always like, "Oh man, I wish my school could have an esports team." So this is we are.
Is that like every
growing.
single TikTok?
Not every single TikTok, but like I mean, there's a lot of the comments are like that. It's just like, how can I do this? And I don't know. We are like actively growing the scene by making this type of content. It's pretty cool to see. And I think that's a good point. I'll be interested to see a couple of years from now if we can get these kids to make their own content, so we could work in tandem with them. Hopefully, as a joint effort.
Well, I mean, you're the poster child of that, Alex, right?
Absolutely.
Especially everything on TikTok being like organic growth. Like the whole point of what we want to do is like put out content that like makes the community feel acknowledged and recognized. So then when we do kind of put out an ad per se, like we have a video pinned to our profile that's at like 71,000 views right now, not paid, not promoted, not anything. And it's literally Connor saying, here's how you go to our website. Here's how, send this video to your teacher, and it's pinned to our profile, and it still gets like thousands of views every day. Like at the end of each week, it maybe goes up another 1,000 likes. Like we're reaching a point where we don't even have to really like force our content out anywhere. Kids just see it. I make sure to even comment on like other popular TikTok videos too. So then we kind of get our own free advertisement that way, where, you catch a video before it gets trendy, comment, and I get kids being like, HSEL, why are you guys here? Like, hello. And then they interact with you there. And then through the TikTok algorithm, you get them engaging with you there. Your videos are just going to cycle through their page, and then they interact with that, and then they get more of your content.
Awesome. Well, how can we, is there any training out there to help with lowercase and incorrect grammar comments for TikTok and Discord when it comes to our young
I think it's quite stylish, I believe, and they should keep on doing such. It really helps. Helps reach.
It's so difficult because from a professional level, we have this conversation a lot of correcting the way esports is spelled to make sure that, as an industry, we're taken professionally. But I also find myself riding a fine line between if a program's excited about adding esports and they spell it wrong, it almost feels like I don't want to rain on their parade. Like, I'm so happy that they're even just getting into it that it's like I kind of want to like, okay, get going and then like learn about it. Like it's so difficult for me to want to do that when that, because what's cool about it, the caveat is like that means that you introduce esports to a brand new teacher or school who had no clue about it and maybe doesn't know how they're supposed to spell it, but they're still introducing it to their school and they're still getting signed up. So like that's how you reached you literally just taught a brand new audience about this. Guess we didn't teach the spelling correctly, but at least and more so what that means is the students went out of their way to recruit a teacher to get them excited about joining this. So if there's any silver lining, it's the fact that that means we're actually doing our job as an industry and getting new people in.
I'm glad you brought that. I was actually talking about just teenagers writing U instead of YOU and all that kind of stuff. But that's actually a good point because I publicly been stating the past few months, like I've been a horrible gatekeeper of that, as someone we spent time, Connor and I, we spent time making videos about this, about the lowercase e and the capital S or the dash. And to your point, that's exactly why we need to be accepting of it. I heard from John Davison at the Esports Trade Association. He said, we tend to not take people seriously when they don't write it correctly, but are we keeping people out because we're not as accepting? And I took that really hard. Like, they're so right. Cause I just been such a stinker about it. Like, well, I'm not answering I'm not responding to your email. You didn't know how to spell esports correctly, and I did that. I did that for a long time. So gatekeeping is a big thing we have in our industry with this small space, and so yeah. But thank you for bringing that topic up, because then
you're
we have that.
It
I
still
made it.
shows
I
the
made
value for what we did, though, because if you are
Mhm.
trying to learn, you should be learning the right way. But I would agree with that sentiment that it can't be used as a way to gatekeep.
It drove me to make an NFT about gatekeeping in esports. You can find it on my website.
Well, it's trendy to gatekeep, though, right? According to TikTok, was it gatekeep girl boss or gaslight gatekeep girl boss? But not endorsing that. But I mean, it's kind of like it's the Gen Z mindset. So it's like, it's not just us; it's everybody.
Yeah, you want to feel part of a community, but for some reason, we take it so far as to say that other people can't be part of it, because then it's not special, which is not true at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that. This is what we're here for. We're here to work with kids. We're here to help schools, and you guys are obviously in the front of this, and you're the best content team in esports ever. There's my NFT about esports gatekeepers. It's horrible art, but I made it. Just expressing my art. Art can be whatever it wants to be. Mom, I can do whatever I want. Mom. Okay. Let's finish up here these last 5 minutes with where do we see esports content. I know we all talk about what esports is going to be, but I want to talk about the stuff you guys are experts at in a field you're an expert in, which is content for esports. And where do you see? Obviously, we've seen a ton of. We saw Snoop Dogg this week join FaZe, right? FaZe, and 100 Thieves. Their website is basically just an apparel store, and they make content around that. Where are we trending with esports content right now? And I guess gaming esports content as well on that. Where are we? Gracie, take this one first here. Where are we trending? Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think with professional orgs that already have like a reputation, I mean, for them, they can take it wherever they want or do whatever they want. If 100 Thieves is doing that, then I mean, it's probably only a matter of time before other orgs that are just as big as them just kind of follow in their footsteps, because the creativity is so lacking nowadays. And not saying that there aren't creative people out there, they're maybe just not being voiced. It's, oh, this person already did this. We're just going to follow in their footsteps because they paved the way. So this is what the norm is. Like us right now with esports, like nobody's really paved the way for like a high school environment with esports. So that's 100% like we are, starting all over. Like we tried for a long time doing what the pro teams were doing, maybe doing even what the Score Esports was doing by covering popular players. And it wasn't working for us because the market was so saturated. So what it really comes down to is, like Connor said, it's so much work that goes into creating the idea. And then once you have an idea, a unique, original idea, running with that. So I think the pro orgs that got inspired by the big orgs, they're just going to follow what they're doing. And then it's going to become like muddled with the same stuff. And I think that's going to help us get bigger because we're going to be a new, unique market in esports with the high school content.
Now your Millionaires in Esports series, I learned a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for that. I think that's good archive content that if you think it didn't do well, I think it's still doing well. But I don't see your numbers, so I don't know. But it was good.
Yeah, I think that was everything she said is correct. I think you're going to see two really interesting things. One is it is absolutely hilarious how bad the majority of esports content is. And we don't think about it because the only real content you see is from the 2 or 3 people that are doing it really well. And you take 100 Thieves and Optic and you take like the average of what esports is, and it's like night and day different. So I'm hoping we're going to see a general trend of people learning how to storytell better on within the realm of professional esports and esports coverage. But then on the other end of it, I think the content you're really going to start seeing is each team is really focusing on doing documentary type stuff. And I think you're going to see that expand. You're going to see a lot more coverage of esports. Paramount just announced the League of Legends comedy show type thing, and content supporting, like not even covering esports, but just supporting it. It's like an office style show about a League of Legends team.
Wait, they're doing that? I thought they were doing Halo and they're doing League of Legends? Paramount Plus?
They're doing two different. Yeah, they have 2 different.
What?
They have the Halo actual series, and then they've got a comedy show around starting the League of Legends professional team coming out.
Okay. I've heard about that.
Yeah, so you're going to see that. I also can pretty much guarantee you're going to see 100 Thieves animated show on Netflix or something. I think they're going to enter the realm of cartoons and or anime, or making these brands, these professional brands, through content on these means like Netflix. I think you're going to see that come really soon. It's crazy how far ahead they are. Like, their content is so good. They're already doing the documentary stuff. You're going to see them do more. So I think that's really where the content in esports is headed, is the supporting content. We've covered enough matches. We're doing a lot of that. But how do we actually tell the story of what's going on here?
I did like that question of Melanie in the chat. Melanie is the VP of strategy here at Guild. So you have a famous person in the chat here watching, and it's funny that she asked that question about helping schools make their own content, which is good stuff in the future that's not ready to talk about that you guys will be doing. And but you're not particularly using content of people, but they're sharing it with you. And what's the best way to think about how your HSEL homeroom, your clips, how does that work?
I think I'd love if it was both, but right now, there's just not a lot of high schools making their own content. It's kind of hard. Like, we'll find the occasional stray, like Twitch stream, or like, I don't know, maybe they'll have a school page and everything. But overall, it's just kind of difficult because the space isn't like, there's not a lot of popular high school creators. And I don't know, I think that's kind of what's nice about our job, is like we can help elevate, others like in high school and stuff like that. I'd love to, if we could work in tandem and, use their content and help create content of our own using theirs. You know what I mean? Like it seems like a mutual sort of mutually beneficial thing, I guess.
Yeah, so the long-term answer is yes, we want them to make their own content. We want to support them and show them that we will support them if they do make content, but it's a slow burn. So we have to do all the coverage ourselves right now because we're building it from the ground up. But we have seen some people starting to make content and make like Twitter feeds and Instagram feeds and start streaming. So hopefully in a year or two, we can actually just cover their content instead of trying to make our own. Well, make our own, but cover theirs.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool once like high schools or kids start making content and we find stories basically building like personalities around the high school like space that are like kids, that we can build stories and documentaries over those like certain kids in their school. I think that would be really cool and what we could possibly see in the future. So
the trick is to capture the kids that went out of their way to make the content, and then highlight that and hype them up to encourage other kids to do that. Like we had a local school from Wichita. They made a hype video for their student team. That was awesome. So we made a whole report spotlight on them. We actually just had Connor, Nick, Alex, I don't know if you guys saw, I moved the video to our story, but we had another school that actually won an esports lab from us. They made a huge hype video just about their esport labs, and it looks amazing. So like there are these students coming out trying to like make content, and so whenever we can, I always try to like grab onto that or ask them, hey, can we spotlight you, can we do this? And they love that engagement. Everybody likes the social clout that you can get, even if it's like even if everybody doesn't know the high school esports league, they're going to look at our TikTok account, they're going to see 100,000 followers, they're going to be like, yeah, I want them to like call out my school, I want them to call out my team.
Is that the Cougars that you're talking about?
Yeah, Cougars. Yep.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Yeah.
I don't have audio, but it looks good. Wow, it looks really good.
It's awesome.
That's what you get as a organization. You're doing more than just running leagues, right? There's education, then there's content, and there's helping create content and help people understand, and grants and everything else that's going on. So, hey, a lot of people appreciate what you guys do. I do. It's fun to work with you guys and get to maybe give you a little bit of data out there so you can go and talk about things. And I love what you guys are doing. I appreciate it. And before we go, in last words, and then we'll cover where can we find you on socials. So any last words before socials?
Biggest. Oh, yes. Sorry. I was going to say biggest advice for anyone, especially trying to get into social media. I think you should try to build your own brand first. I think if you build a brand, or at least try to build a brand, you can understand like how hard it is and then appreciate like the work that goes into it. And there's also a big difference between building a personal brand and building a brand for a company.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to go off of that. I think the biggest thing that people get wrong is the difference between views and building a community. And I think that's the number one thing you should be trying to focus on, is building a community and what it means to be part of your community, and not just posting videos for the sake of getting views. Because while you get those views, it doesn't equal followers. It doesn't equal, members that are going to interact with you the way that you want to. So focus on community, not views.
Alex.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I just hope that, our high school students, they take the opportunity very seriously, to create when they create their esports league, to, use it as an opportunity to elevate, themselves and potentially, their own lives. Because when I was a kid, I never thought I'd work in esports, and, you can learn a lot by joining your local esports club. And if you don't even have to be an esports player, you can, create content, you can, be a graphic designer. There's a bunch of jobs in the esports industry, and I don't know, I'm just excited to see where things go from here. And I'm really excited to be, at the ground floor, helping push and create these, these esports teams. So that's about it.
Nick, thank you, Alex. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's really cool that we get to work and make content for such a niche thing like the high school esports league. It's very niche. No one's really making content. We're I guess you call us the big dogs. We're the ones making the content. I think we're the start for it, and hopefully people follow and love what we do.
We do. I hear the good things. I heard all the good things. So thank you guys. So let's Nick, Alex, Gracie, Connor, where can we find you on socials, Nick?
You can just find me on Instagram. That's where I post all my videos. It is just my name, Nicholas.Bramel. And I have a YouTube. It's Goldie, but I haven't really posted that much on there. But yeah, coming soon.
But Alex,
add me on LinkedIn, Alex Acosta. That's about it. If you'll find me on my socials, if you need to find me, that's about it.
Gracie.
Gracie Star. Yeah, Gracie Star pretty much on anything. I haven't really done a whole lot of TikTok content since, having a full-time job where I have to full-time make TikTok, because creativity, it takes a lot out of you doing that all day long. But yeah, Gracie Star on TikTok, Instagram, Meredith Wilcox on LinkedIn. But yeah.
All right, humble Connor.
I'm just Coach Alni. Just search Coach Alni. Say hi. I'll say hi back.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you guys for being here today. This has been fun. It's been a good hour, and I'm excited to work more with you guys in the future and do some fun stuff around education as well. And just keep doing what you're doing and keep being the leader in this. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming on the show today. It's fun to be on the Guild here, this great new platform by Ritual Motion. And hey, this has been the HSEL content team, the High School Esports League. And they are absolutely killing it as the top esports content team in the galaxy. You heard it here from them and from me and from lots of other people. So thank you for being here, guys. I really appreciate y'all, and I'll see you next time. Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Bubba.
See you guys later.
See you.
Session.